The day begins, peaceful like any other, albeit windy. A soundtrack of gentle purring through the trees. It's enough to notice without bother. In fact, given the heat, I was grateful for its presence. Spending time here, I have found myself creating a new routine, one which differs to my typical busy day-to-day. Here, I had only one goal in mind: to relax. It may sound simple, but for someone like me, relaxing can be rather a challenge. To switch off entirely and truly let go of everything just for a week or two. My brain is persistently preoccupied with hundreds of voices, thoughts, and feelings, figuring out the next steps and crafting the life I wish to lead. But I could feel the tank running low, and as with any long journey, it's essential to refuel. When you finally let go of the responsibilities that await your return, life begins to soften and a feeling of contentment begins to bloom. Slowly at first, but as the days go by, the feeling envelops you with a sense of healing and restoration. In fact, towards the end of the trip, you begin to feel excited for your return, re-inspired, reinvigorated, and ready to create. But before we jump ahead to that, let me tell you some more about my 2 weeks spent in Italy. The first week away was spent absolutely spoilt with beauty, good food, and even better company. After driving along a narrow stone-walled, can we really call this a road, we arrived at our villa. A gorgeous one-levelled white stone building surrounded by miles of olive groves and a garden abundant with plums and bergamot. Much of the week was spent here, reading by the pool, cooling off with quick dips before allowing the sun to gently dry you. Lunch is eaten outside in the shaded dining space and dinners in the local towns and cities. I've consumed more than my body weight in pizza and pasta. I felt like a happy bowling ball.
Is it a photo or a film?
Video.
Ah.
The next stop in this adventure. A trip of which I filmed far less, so I'll start telling you about it now. A getaway for 2, taking the bus on a 3-hour journey across the country to a different city, Napoli. Our experience here started with quite a shock after spending a week practically horizontal apart from the 2 days where my 100 lengths of the pool equated 1 kilometre of swimming. The streets are made up of large stones, all mismatched and some poking out more than others. Dragging a suitcase through the narrow market streets in the 30-degree heat was definitely an unexpected workout. Even more unexpected was the number of stairs that led to our apartment. Not accessible by car or bike, the stairway continued winding its way up, cutting across smaller alleys and continuing with more and more stairs. I think it is fair to say the view was worth it. Waking up each morning looking out over a bustling city mixed with old and new, and more notably a dormant volcano, Mount Vesuvius, in her striking beauty. We explored the city, played cards, and ate and ate and ate. It's hard not to notice how many people ride mopeds and Vespas through the city, and given the narrow side streets, you can understand why. I wish I could have captured the number of questionable things I saw on the back of mopeds. My favourite was a girl carrying her toy poodle while taking selfies as her driver whizzed them through the narrow roads. I have a real amount of respect for the Italians here. I'm scared of line bikes, let alone having the confidence to ride a motorbike past hundreds of tourists lining the streets. On one day we took a taxi to a secluded beach in the town of Posillipo. It was a dreamy beach surrounded by colourful houses, and the sea was that classic Mediterranean turquoise. There were little balls of mossy seaweed floating past that felt like you were swimming in a Studio Ghibli film. Blessed and grateful, filled with love and light. Thank you, Italy, for a dreamy 2 weeks, for feeding my body, my mind, and my soul. It really is the Dolce Vita.
Hello.
Hello, Vera.